to my YouTube channel at Pisa Makeover. Today I'm here with three amazing guests. I have
Christabel,
Life is precious.
Vandora.
wow guys, today's going to be interesting because I got beautiful guests reacting with me. We're going to be checking out Russian Witch says her magic doesn't work on Muslims. I have a problem pronouncing witch. This is going to be interesting. Imagine
Right.
a witch saying that her power doesn't work on Muslims. Her
Yeah,
witchcraft.
anything
doesn't-
she does doesn't affect the Muslims.
Yes.
It's going to be a crazy video.
incredible.
I know. So let's just check it out.
So without further ado, let's get started.
It's more difficult to influence a person if he keeps his thoughts in purity.
Yes, absolutely. When faced with various religions, it is very difficult to influence Muslims. They are in a constant connection with the egregore. They do namaz every day and read prayers on a daily basis. They are constantly under some kind of a dome, so it is very difficult to influence them. When you start impacting a person, he begins to address in a prayer. Indeed, many of them are very different from those who come to church only when everything is bad in their life. They come to pray and then for 5 years they forget about God, some canons, and so on. Muslims, as a rule, passionately believe and
This particular thing she just said, understand, you know the Muslims have their routine. You know, they must surely pray like 4 times a day, like 5 times or so, you know, so they are always like
They're
in the
always-
mood. And it's not just
compulsory
for every Muslim,
for
yes.
them.
And
They
then
don't joke with
you see
them.
some of them has something
Yeah.
in their head,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're always bending.
Down.
So and it's not just like, you know, the Christian prayer, you could stand up, you could lean, you could, but then they have to go down on their knees with their mat and their all like that thing they're doing alone is that respect is coming in. Like
Yes.
you're wearing your attire, you're, you know, getting ready to pray, and then you're bowing on your head like 5 times a day. But we Christians, like she said, we just when we have problems, remember, oh God. After 5 years, we don't even know our
Not
lives.
necessarily
Like,
generalizing it like you Christian.
oh no, I'm not generalizing it, but I feel like what she's saying, she's actually right. You see the way the Muslims are, they pray like 5 times a day. But with the Christians, you can pray anytime you want. Listen to my mom. I'm still generalizing it.
Because a lot of Christians pray every time. Everything.
So you see some Christians.
Yeah, just that some Christians pray only when they have trouble.
Troubles, yes, okay, yes.
And the most surprising thing about everything is that they are welcoming a witch, like to come have a conversation with them.
Oh, of
Very,
course.
very,
You
very
know these
surprising.
kind of things. Like, you see, this is 21st century. I mean, everybody's learning from everything. We've not even gotten to the end of the video, and we're already getting facts from what
Yeah,
she's saying.
that's
Do you understand?
Well, that's
So-
actually true, though. That's true.
Yes, that's true. So let's just get back to the video, guys.
passionately give energy to their egregore. And this egregore protects them very well. That's why it is very difficult to work to make any kind of influence on a true Muslim believer.
Is this some kind of a good egregore?
Well, for them, yes. This egregore is good for adepts who contribute good energy to it.
How do you sense it? For instance, you have found an energy trace of such person. What's next? Do you try to drag him somehow to visualize this threat and you fail? Or how do you do that?
It disappears. I cannot get a grip on it. I focus on it, but something immediately knocks me out of the flow, just like that. Or I visualize the person in front of me clearly and can affect him even at a mental level, but some image is not created in my mind at all. I even look at a photo, reproduce an image, but it vanishes from my mind. Thus, I can clearly see that a person is covered with something.
Does this only work with Muslims?
It does for me. Nowadays, there are very few people among Christians who truly believe. Even those who write in their comments that God is in the soul, that they are all faithful believers, but in reality they are not. Even most often they write that all this is a sin, but then ask in a private message how to make a rubbing spell. Such cases also happen.
A robbing spell?
A rubbing spell.
What is it?
It means
Oh my God,
God, I wish this video, like, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
really want to make sure this video.
I mean, Exactly. Yeah, I really liked the fact that, like she said, Rich coming out to, you know, express or, you know, give us what's happening in the underworld. But I mean, things like this is good because we need to be updated. You understand? Where this world is going. She's not coming out to say that she's trying to kill Muslims or any other thing. She's just trying to say that, oh, whenever she tried to be rich, any of the Muslim people that it's always something covering them. And then she feels the reason why is because they are always forced, not even like their option. Like you can see their children are being
it's composed like something.
yes, you
they are
must do.
they are
Yes, you must do it like 5 times a day.
awake, even awake,
They carry their mouths.
Like,
Yeah, it's
serious.
just it's that serious. So I mean, she feels that could be it, but you know, everybody with their own spiritual life. You understand? With someone doing that thing, she can still be able to get anybody. You understand? But it's just how filled you are in the spirit. You understand? So I feel most people should, have contact with they're not just praying, but they're also filled in the spirit. Yes, that's what I feel about this video.
I would really love if there's a part 2 to get the continuation
Yes,
of what she's
yes,
talking about. But this is actually nice. I feel as long as you're praying to God, you're always in that spirit, you have a strong connection with God.
Yeah.
No external force or any external power will come into you. I just feel we should just be prayerful. We should always feel ourselves with God's presence and keep our hearts pure and clean always. But this was an interesting video, and I love the part that she just came out to say. Just but you see, if it's on which they'll be like, oh, my power is too small to have because like she's saying that these people they're actually prayerful, so that's why my power can get to them. So I really enjoyed
the
it.
fact she's being honest
Yeah,
about it
it's-
and she's not, bragging at all. She's just telling
She's
you how
kind
it
of
is.
kind of playing everything she's
Yeah.
saying.
Yes, that's just
This is interesting. And guys, please let us know if you have more videos about her so we can check it out.
check it out.
as well.
I mean, yes.
We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, we say yes.
Bye.